All right, we're back here with the Jordan truck. Corey has pulled the valve covers. Damn it, Randy.
Cowabunga it is.
So we got Jordan's truck back here. And old Corey has already ripped off the valve covers. Said it was easy peasy. We got this fancy schmancy proprietary tool from RiffRaff Diesel to pull the injector cups.
Hey, actually,
big shout out to those guys, man. I'll put a link in the description if anybody wants to use this after we show you how it works. But we totally botched the whole ordering process and ordered the injector cups, all the O-rings for the injectors, all that stuff, and forgot to order the rental tool because they do a rental. So like we're gonna send this back and get, you know, a good deal of our money back. You can buy it outright. It's like, I think 500 or something. But we botched the rental part of it because, you know, we don't do this very often. And I called them up and they just sent me up my own personal link to get a rental. So that's super cool of them.
If you're gonna do this job, you can do it the right way, which is not the way I did it. So,
perfect.
When you go to actually pull the injectors, that little Allen plug, there's one right there and one in the back, that drains your oil rail. I just pulled the injector, so all of these cylinders should be full of oil. But luckily I knew I had this tool. This tool I built at work.
For sucking oil out?
Yeah, sucking the cylinders when you're doing cups or in general. Because the thing is, like, even if you drain the oil, like you're still gonna get fuel in the cylinder. This is just 1/4-inch airline.
Yeah.
And I kind of have it like
shove it down that hole.
So pretty much, I have the. If you're familiar with tool trucks, these are on every tool truck. Cornwell, Mac, Matco. Just little air vacuums. I shove a couple paper towels in here just because I don't feel like getting my bag soaked. The hose, and I have some heat shrink adapted down. Just kind of slipping on there like that. And 1/4-inch airline goes right down the injector bore. If I could see. Just like that.
Wow.
So you put it in there, and if I had air, I'll show you, but it sucks all the oil, fuel, everything right out of the cylinder. So,
wow.
Yeah. That's a nice
like
tool
it.
right there. Cat proprietary.
All right, well, we're gonna check back in whenever we use this fancy RiffRaff Diesel tool and pull these cups out. And by we, I mean Corey.
All right. So as far as the removal process goes, we already got number 1 out. Go for number 3. So on the tool, make sure you have the nut ran all the way up to the top. Points down. Just kind of drop it down in there. Make sure, you know, don't slam it down because it does have the cutting threads. But use the specialty bolts, which are weird 12.6 millimeter bolts, but whatever. That's what came with it. Luckily I had it. You don't have to crank these down or anything. I just literally have a 6-inch extension with the socket. And I just kind of finger tight them. Just like that. And I'm using a 3/8 with a 3/4 inch on it. It's 3/4 and 7/8, 1922. It's all the same crap. But anyway, so you can kind of feel it in there. You know, you're gonna push it down to where it engages the cup. And then pretty much the minute you start turning, you're gonna feel it start cutting. Like, you don't have to crank down on it, but you know, you want a good cut, because if not, you're gonna pull right through. But like, really, that's kind of all you need. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna run that nut down. You pretty much just start pulling it out. You should feel it give an initial pop. You'll kind of feel it through the tooling and the ratchet. That's that cup releasing. Because when you install these, you have to have Loctite sealing the cup. Actually, see if I can show you what I'm talking about, so you don't think I'm just an idiot. So look down in there. So you see that little beveled edge right before the injector bore? That is what you're going to put your, that's what the cup is sealing to right there. Because if you look down in there, that's your coolant passage. And obviously you don't want coolant going into your combustion chamber, and you don't want coolant coming up. Obviously you have an O-ring, but you don't want coolant coming up into your fuel. Those are the 2 prime reasons why you do this job. This one we were just going to be getting fuel into our coolant. So pretty much just pull her on up. And just like that, went loose. See how the whole tooling pulls up. So take these bolts back out. Make sure not to drop them, because they will, these bolts are small enough, they'll go right past the tip of the injector bore and right into your cylinder, and then you're pulling ahead. No fun. But just like that, that's all the tool, and I'll show you how to put them back in. But easiest way to get these back off is, like I said, don't crank them down too tight, or else you're gonna be fighting. I'm getting that getting this cup off the tool, because like I said, it does cut into this. So if you just kind of, you know, I'm not saying hand tight, but you know, give her just a little oomph, probably, I don't know, half a turn past hand tight. That's pretty much all you need. Pair of Nipex on the cup and the tooling, and then you can really unscrew it from itself, just like that. And if you see, oh shit, see, that's how it's getting pulled out, is you're cutting threads pretty much into the cup, and then it's pulling out that way. So don't ram it in there too far, or else you're gonna have to be using like a bench vise and vicing this up, and you're gonna crush this cup, which I'm not getting tossed, but it's a hassle. If you just don't over tighten it, they come right off with a pair of vice grips and the tool. So all right, we'll try this one more time. So got our compound on there, arrow down. We're going for number 4 back there. So we're going to number 4. See if I can't fish them all in there like that. So finger tight, don't need anything crazy, just enough thread engagement that the puller won't rip the threads out of the head. Just like that. Run it down finger tight. Alright, finger tight's a little tough. Get the ratchet in there. We're going to run the ratchet down until the ratchet becomes tight. Alright, ratchet's getting a little tight. Alright, switch to the torque wrench. Alright, 35 foot-pounds. You're going to go up. You're going to see the torque is sitting right about 1920. You keep going. That's it actually pressing into the head. And then you'll know it bottoms out in the head when you hit 35 foot-pounds. And I'll show you what I like to do. Alright, so that clicks 35. But same as you do heads, or head bolts, give it a minute, and we'll go a little more. See, it's moving, so it's 35, and I go until my torque wrench doesn't actually move, it just clicks at 35. So there's that one. We'll go one more just to be safe. Moved a little bit. All right, happy with that. loosen the installer like that. Reach in here, remove your hold down bolts. Do not drop them. That would not be fun to fish out. Luckily these aren't like 6 leakers, but number 1 and number 4 have the oil drain passages in the head, so you gotta be careful. And give it a little yank. We got just a Scotia compound on there. But as I was saying, the biggest thing is cleanliness. You gotta make sure that these injector bores are clean. Like, that's some of the crud I pulled out of one. You can see on this paper towel, if you can. See, that is all of the old compound that came out of these bores. So you have to make sure you remove all of the old compound before you put the new cup with new compound in there, or else you're not really adhering to anything. You're adhering to old flaky compound. So got to make sure that it's clean, because you want a compound to metal seal. If you do compound to compound, it's not going to work out.
All right, here we go. If y'all remember before the injector cup job and the glow plugs, how this puppy just didn't want to start without the ether. All right, so what do we get? How do we fix this cold start nightmare?
All 8 injector cups. I did the stainless steel, the little one from RiffRaff diesel. Obviously their installer tool, you saw that earlier in the video. It was incredible. The got 8 new glow plugs, all injectors resealed, which there was actually 2 injectors that did have split O-rings, but that was on the oil side. We were getting good pressure, so I don't think that was until obviously removal, but and then the blue spring kit, which is right up here on the fuel filter housing. Everyone who has a 7.3 and 6 liter knows that, but new fuel pressure regulator housing with the blue spring kit. Got that too while I was in there.
Let's see how she does. Looky there. There's no white smoke pluming and ruining my tea. Just fire right up.
Yep.
Come on.
I personally have dealt with 6 liters, and anytime you crack into these high pressure oil systems, anyone would know. But after doing this job, I'm not gonna lie, it ran like shit for, I'd probably say 30 minutes. So much so I thought I was gonna have to go back in there. I thought I was having injectors sticking, but I pulled it out of the shop. I let it idle for about 30 minutes. It seemed to kind of clear up. It was still hazing smoke. It was probably just residual oil that was left in the cylinders, or residual fuel from doing the job. But pulled outside, let it run for about 30 minutes, kind of until the smoke was clearing up out of the exhaust. And then I actually went and drove it. I put about 2 miles up and down our road, kind of hammering on it, getting some high pressure oil to those injectors, and everything cleared right up. So if you do this job by yourself and you pull it out and it sounds like it's misfiring, it's running like shit, just give it time. You know, maybe run it up and down the road, put a load on it, and it cleared itself right up. No more smoke. Starts great. It's perfect now. So this was definitely the worst one. Like I said, I've done 6 liters that, yeah, it'll run pretty rough for maybe 2 minutes to sit there idling, but it clears up pretty fast. This one was definitely like, I had to drive it to get those injectors to clear up.
Interesting.
So
either way, it's working. She does good. Come on, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more.